Okay, so some of the events that we have done this year are some of the most fun times that I've had lately. And I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to make sure that I was getting the information out there about what some of these actual events are, if they have them in your area, and how most of them that we went to this year were for free. So that's kind of helpful with the way the economy is going. So, how are you doing? If you just swipe by the channel, hi, my name is Stacy. I'm out in Arizona. I'm out by the Superstition Mountain, and we have the nonprofit, the Desert Nature Alliance, and it is dedicated to just loving the desert and showcasing the animals that are out here, and awareness of nature and that kind of stuff. So we get invited to different events, is what I call them. I don't know what else to call them. So if the word event has been off-putting and you're like, I don't know, I'm not invited to your event, I'm not going, well, okay, then I don't have another word. So that's some of why I wanted to just sit down, make a video, talk to you guys, because I don't want to inadvertently do anything that causes you not to go to either a nature night or a nature event or a STEM event in your area, because they are way too much fun to go to. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I have some stuff I wanted to show you. Plus, I wanted to give you a heads up that our museum is closed now, officially closed. You're like, whoa, stays closed? No, just closed for the season. It is too hot. Believe it or not, yeah, it's May and it's going to be 100 and something degrees this weekend already. God, we're already in the triple digits. So no, our museum is not air conditioned unless anybody out there has very deep pockets and wants to kick down for air conditioning. No, it is not air conditioning, so right now is not the time to come visit. If for some amazing reason I go, okay, but you're special and you can come out because you've flown out from wherever and just want to see us or see the museum, it's either going to be 7 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night. Otherwise, no, don't talk to me about it. If you are new to the channel and you're like, what is your museum? Well, that's going to go back to everything that I was going to talk about, the events that we go to. So the museum holds all of the exhibits, displays, bones, the collection, the DNA, the Desert Nature Alliance has, that we utilize for education wherever. Okay, so whether it is at a school, it is at an event that we're going to talk about, it's on a video, it is in something in print, or it is at the museum itself, whether we do tours. This season, and we consider it a season because it's so hot out here. I can't have people come out here and melt and look at bones and just, no, it's just too hot. I don't want to do it either. So by the end of our school season, I usually shut everything down. That's when I get to take a break, step back, give everything a break. It's too hot, do the stuff that I'm doing inside. So if you came out here for a tour for the museum, you got to see all of the exhibits, all of the displays, all of the things that I have created, but all of them don't go to the events that we go to. There's no way. This is just where I house it. So getting to come to our museum is one of the things that I feel like a lot of you out there are blowing it, especially those of you that live locally. We're even on like Trip Finder and that kind of stuff. It is free to come visit. You're going to get a private tour from me. You're going to get to experience being really close to the Superstition Mountains. We've even created a nature walk on our property. A lot of people are like, well, it's just a little trail walking around. You'd be surprised how many people have mobility issues, have never walked in the desert, find themselves very thirsty, hot, surprised at what it's like walking around. So it's a whole experience when you come out to the DNA Museum. It is not open to the general population, but it's free. It's one of the things I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of things to do out there in the world that's free that you don't have to finance your life away for. Oh my God. Some of the stories lately, I have heard people financed going to Coachella. Okay, no. And as you can see in the economy right now, things are not great. And so if you are looking for alternative things to do, yeah, visiting our museum was one of them, but like you said, the season is over for now. So gotta wait until the weather cools down for us a little bit, or I find it in my heart to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to give you some kind of tour when it's still 70 degrees out. Inside, like I said, inside the museum, house all the different bone collection and just all the different education that we have come up with each season as we've done this. The events, why do I call it an event? Because I don't know what else to call it. Okay, so I'm going to use a couple of the ones that we did this year as an example of an event. Okay, the city of Chandler. Since I'm in Arizona, I'm outside of Mesa, Phoenix general area. If you're not familiar with this part of the world, I get it. We're on YouTube. Okay, so in Arizona, you'd say like the Grand Canyon is way up north. I'm not anywhere near that, right? Phoenix is the Valley of the Sun. We're just hot, and it's massive, you guys. It is a lot bigger than I want to say a lot of people's states or cities. It's massive. So I would be on the east side, out by the Superstition Mountains. In the middle is Phoenix. That's where you're gonna hear about like Camelback, that kind of stuff. That's where we're located. Chandler is gonna be a little bit further south. Is one of the events that we did. We did one in Fountain Hills that is north of us. We were much further south and down towards Tucson, Oro Valley, that area. So we've been kind of all over. For the event in Chandler, it was at night, so it's nature at night, and it's at their nature center for the city of Chandler, and it's a really cool area, free. Now this event is free. This is why I wanted to tell you guys about this, because I know, okay, in part, May is mental health awareness, and there's a lot of us that suffer from anxiety, or don't necessarily have somebody to go someplace with, or feel really awkward going out. Okay, I get that. So unless you have someone like me as a destination to go to, like, okay, I'm going to go to the nature and I have to go see Stacy, you may feel really weird going to one of these events. And that's what I wanted to do this video for, so I could kind of alleviate that for you a little bit. I need some coffee. Give me a break. So I do understand awkward. If you watch my videos, you know I understand awkward. But I do understand not going someplace or not being sure. Now, the city of Chandler, like I said, they have a nature center. It's big. There's like a lake there. You can picnic there. There's all kinds. It's pretty. For their nature at night, I'm not sure exactly how much advertisement they do. I don't live in the city of Chandler, and I was someone who was invited as an exhibitor. So no, as somebody who just is in the general population, I'm not really sure how much information was out there, how easy it was to find. So a lot of people have said that to me. Well, how am I supposed to know about where these events are? You might actually have to do a little searching in your area, check in and see if any of the cities have any events or those kind of things going on. That's usually what the word is an event, right? Okay, so it was nature at night. They did have food trucks. This was our second time being invited there. Like, so we had multiple tables where we set up our exhibits, and we usually have some kind of theme, is what everybody does. I don't really want to focus on what I bring on these events as much as I want to focus on what everybody else brings to these events, because that's where I feel like you guys are missing out, and I'm not sharing enough of that. And the reason why is because by the time that we get to an event and set up, and everyone's doing the same thing, you have exhibitors all around bringing their tables and setting things up, and then all of a sudden lots and lots of people show up and the event starts. So it makes it really hard to go and get any one-on-one with some amazing things that are happening all around you for free. So we're gonna get the Chandler Nature at Night. Both times that I've been to, there was so much stuff around us that it was really hard for me to even want to stay at the table to do the exhibit that I was there for. If you get the opportunity and you see in your local, whether it's newspaper or whatever it is, or online, or any of the locals, the little local free, these kind of things that are local, they're telling you that what's going on in your area, definitely you want to go. how often are you going to get to be up close with a rescue? Like the rescue that we just saw at Chandler that had a turkey vulture and had hawks, and they were right there holding them, showcasing, telling you all kinds of really cool information, and not selling anything. Most of the events that we go to, these are not vendors. Okay, this is not some kind of big shop-a-rama. When you go to a STEM event, the focus is science, technology, engineering, and math. All of the ones that we have attended, there's no retail. Now maybe for the host, maybe they had a gift shop because it was the city of Chandler, that kind of thing, if they have their own center. But for the rest of us, every table that you're walking up to, it's advanced show and tell, you guys. It's some of the most amazing stuff that you're gonna go to. People volunteer their time, just like we do, to bring out something amazing that they think that information is valuable to you. That's community service. Okay, so when we say that we do community service, that's what's in our heart, is that we feel like some of the things that we get to showcase, I've seen light bulbs literally go off on people. I've seen their night or their day or their moment change. I've had people literally say that to me. So it's worth it. And that's why I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to go, that you're aware that these events are happening and that you might be missing out on something really, really cool that you should get to see. We did an event down in Oro Valley. It was for a very large elementary school. Now, some of those type of events I'm not sure are open to just the general population, or if it's just for the school itself. Now, this one was on like a Friday night, if I remember correctly. Multiple food trucks. This is a very large school, so there's families, and it seemed like it was a very well known event, very well put together event. And that was the one that I got to see the actual equipment, the machinery that they use, the bomb squad uses. It's the bomb squad detonator machine thing. I'm saying all of it wrong. Robot, right? Okay. Awesome. It was so awesome. I was really bummed that I was actually, my area was upstairs, and so I had to go running downstairs so I could get to see, and I didn't get to see their actual demonstration of it. But what I was going to tell you again, okay, so they're there with it, the police officers are there, and all I had to do was walk up and say, oh my God, this is amazing, can you tell me about it? More than happy to share, tell you about it. That's what they're there for. Again, that's an event that was free. So if you have niece, nephew, children in your family, all that kind of stuff, and they are saying at their schools, at their junior high, at their high school, at the college, there's events or these nights, you should go. Absolutely. You would be surprised at how much, I don't want to say entertainment, is there just experiences that you get to have. And at this point in our world, with so many things being computer, flat, or just experiences that everyone is sharing. And I'm going to go back to Coachella, like for this year. Okay, so the information that comes out is that people have spent so much money to go that they even have to maybe put it on credit. They spend a lot of time in a car to get there. Really disappointed. But what we did, all of us saw, was that whatever artist they were there to watch, whatever music they were there, concert they were there for, everyone's got their phones out. They're almost like reporters at this point. Are you really part of what you're there for? The experience has changed, but it's leaving everyone really hollow. What you felt afterwards is like, that wasn't worth it. You put this money value on an experience. And over and over and over, Jay and I are going to these places, and I don't want to say for free, because for us it is work. I do a lot of work to be an exhibitor at an event, but it's so worth it. I've just been around so much cool stuff. We did an event at the Phoenix College, and right next to us was I'm gonna get it wrong, so I want to make sure that I get it right. It was School of Mining and Resources from University of Arizona. I mean, so we're not playing these are like majors that were next to us. Let me see if I have a bigger one from you guys. I do. I have a bigger one. Hang on. I'm trying. Can I get there? It was Geosciences. Okay, yeah. So it's Geo Arizona EDU if you're interested in mining and all that kind of stuff. But okay, so what do they have next to us? They had this big old setup with a remote control car, and your car was going over like basically the moon, and you were looking for water. And as soon as your car got to this one spot, and it registered that there was water there, like a little sensor would go off. Okay, okay, cool. For free. Yeah, you just walk up and they're gonna teach you all about it. Just neat stuff. That table was busy the whole time. Why wouldn't it be? And when you were all done, they gave you an amethyst, if I remember right. So shout out to the guys, like I said, from the School of Mining. I thought that one was really, really great. And then they give you this, yeah, it had a little bit about the starting salaries and kind of stuff. You get a lot of information or just free things when you go. So I love that. So you wind up getting yourself some form of bag because everyone wants to give you information. And beautiful. This is from this was from Tucson, their Cactus and Succulent Society. And look how pretty that is. And that's just a pamphlet that's got information all in it. So each table, so you go up to, say you're at one of the events, and either any of the ones that I just talked about, there's tables set up all around. Different areas, different rooms. I haven't been to one yet that wasn't sprawled out all over the place. Like so I think we did 8 this season, and every event we were at, multiple tables, multiple rooms, tons and tons of people. I don't want you to be off-put if you're someone who's a little worried about being in large crowds. It's not that type of crowd. Much more relaxed, interested, introspective. You're not gonna have like screaming and running around. Maybe if you go to one of the events where we have the school kids busting, but I doubt it. So you'd be a teacher. Most of those are kind of closed events that we're at. But the big ones for the cities, the people genuinely nice, interested, out, families, all ages, people with dogs, people. It ranged. And that's what I really wanted to get across to everybody. You're welcome to be there. You're welcome to go, whether it's just you or it's your family or whoever. When you're looking online, etc., you're looking it up and you're like, oh, okay, my county has this event and it is for a science fair and it's free. You should go. Support it in all of the ways. So you're supporting your community and you're supporting those that are for free, trying to offer whatever it is. It gets you out and in a different lane and a different form of entertainment and adventure than maybe you had ever even thought of. We were at the last event that we did was back down towards Tucson. I say Tucson a lot, and I really shouldn't. We really haven't been in the city of Tucson as much as we've been towards the north of it. But for us, that's a couple hour drive, and so that really makes for a very long day, long event, lot of stress because I'm moving fragile bones most of the time, driving over freeway, bumpy, whatever. Got 2 hours to get there, set up. You're there for 4+ hours, whatever. Breakdown. It becomes a lot. So the last event that we did, I want to say I was a little worn out, but I was still so excited to be there. The people that were next to us were amazing. Rescue now. I have a little bit of their information online. I can put it there for you. But they had a chameleon. Okay, I've never been that close to a chameleon that's this big. I videoed it. I was like, that alone was almost worth the drive. This is amazing. They had 3 tables worth of exotic animals that they rescued. They rescued like this. So they're down in Nora Valley. If you're interested in that, I can get you the information for them. But with them was one of the most fabulous 8-year-olds that I've met in a while. I have fabulous little ones that I know from doing different education tours and that kind of stuff around here. I've been doing this for a little while now. So I have a few little ones in my arsenal that are just smart. So every so often, yep, I run across another one. So as we're setting up our tables, and out of nowhere, this little blonde comes up. Whip smart, y'all. Smart. Starts talking to me. Loves the things that I'm setting out on the table. She's with the rescue. She happens to be 8 years old, and her name is Callista. And Callista is amazing to be around. Tons of energy, tons of inquiry, questions that were valid, not just being annoying. Would have the ability to put a python, I believe it was a python, on her, was walking around showing things, lizards. She was part of the event as well. She would come and go, ask me things, see if I needed things, that kind of stuff. She came up to me later and was like, I made you something. What do you mean you made me something? So she, at one of the other tables, and I videoed that other table, it was a science teacher for Phoenix College, I believe this was showing how if you take this liquid and you squeeze it into the water, it turned into goo. And of course, I'm not saying it right. That's not my job. Right? I'm trying to get you guys to go because these events are great. So look what I was given by my new little friend at the event. She's adorable, and she made it at one of these tables. So this is the type of thing the children are making at the events, again, for free. People are bringing all kinds of stuff for the kids to do and explore, and most of them are designed for everyone. So it's not specifically just for a whole bunch of little kid crafts or to adult. And again, I should say the ones that we have been to. So you might want to read into some of the events that are happening in your area, but she also made some of this goo stuff, I guess, at the same table, some kind of squeezy stuff, and brought that back over to me. So shout out to my little new friend from the rescue. This is why you go. This is because you meet all kinds of amazing people. You get to do all kinds of amazing crafts. They give you a lot of coloring too, and I don't want to hear it from any of the adults. Okay, I know that they sell adult coloring pages, so you get all kinds of cool ones. I like my Smokey and the Bear ones. I got some Smokey ones when we were at the City of Chandler event, so I'll be coloring those in. A lot of the events that we go to have stacks of books or magazines or locals that'll tell you about what is in that area, and they're beautiful and they're free. And all of a sudden you can come back with magazines that look like this, and you can learn a little about, okay, so where you can find some good tacos, some good food in Tucson, Oro Valley. Look at these magazines, are beautiful. And all of a sudden I have new coffee table magazines. Yeah, free. Hello. I've gotten stickers, I've gotten the little fidget things for my keychain, all kinds of neat stuff. Like I said, I don't get to really even interact as much as I want to because I happen to be one of the exhibitors. I happen to be somebody people come to see, come hang out with and learn from us. You're like, what do you stand there and talk about, Stacy? Well, I really like articulation. I really like bones. I really wish that there was an alternate universe where Stacy was putting together Tyrannosaurus Rex and Triceratops and putting them together for museums and out somewhere in archaeological digs. There's a part of Stacy that wants that. There's not a huge part of Stacy, but there's this part of Stacy that wants that. So the closer I got to the bones that I had around here, absolutely. So I have made some really cool displays. As I was working on woodpeckers, I found that they had, their tongue goes all the way around their head. Like, I don't know if you know that. Okay, oh, right here. Hang on. A woodpecker's tongue goes all the way around its head. It's very cool. Here's another one of my, so I had things like this. I had images, if you will, diagrams, if you will, along with the actual woodpecker skull that I had cleaned, and you can see the tongue. It was amazing. I blew it. I didn't frame it as well as I should have, and somewhere along the drive there was enough of a bounce and it hit this part of its head hit the frame and it got a hole. It was really, that bummed me out. That's one of the only breakages so far in travel that I've had, but it's also one of the most fragile things I have been trying to travel with. Can you guys imagine? I am literally traveling with this huge display case that we made. Well, the case itself was donated. Some people have been amazing giving us frames and all kinds of stuff, because I don't really ever ask for money. I'll take donations, whatever, but like you'll hear me. I don't go for grants, whatever. It all comes, okay? So anyway, so I get this big old frame that is amazing. It's full of the different skulls and the displays of woodpeckers' tongues going. I mean, just some of the teeny tiniest stuff that I've worked on. Besides the bats or besides the hummingbirds, this stuff is fragile, so it's crazy to be traveling with it. But I was like, this is my opportunity to show these things. I only saw 60 people this past season at the museum, because that's more than enough for me to do private tours and on my own property, plus all the other work that I'm doing, and these events, and putting the displays and stuff together. That was more than enough. But sometimes I take the risk, and I take out things that are just incredibly fragile, just so people can see it and be a part of it. And taking that gamble was worth it. So I've got bats that I'm traveling with, skeletons, and a woodpecker that's tongue, incredibly fragile things that I'm moving. Now, would I say that there was a huge amount of people there? No, this is where you have like the students are bussed in and come from like all over, and we had a group that had been literally, it was like I think a 4-hour plus drive for them on a bus to come up one way. Oh my God, right? So you really want to make sure that those that get to see what you bring, they get something out of it. And I just remember from that event in particular, this one boy kept looking at the bats and he kept coming back and shaking his head. He's like, I had no idea he couldn't really even get the words out of what it was doing to him or how it felt and the interest that was happening, and just was really appreciative of it. And so that's what makes it worth it, and that's what makes all the work worth it that I put in for it. And I don't want any of you to miss out. I don't want any of you to not get these cool experiences because something's holding you back, and like I said, especially in that whole mental health realm, because I get it. I have I got to talk to the guys for the radio club, the CB radio club. Talk about a group of people that I don't feel comfortable with. I'm not a fan of certain kind of older men, and they make me uncomfortable. But I walked up anyways. I want to know what they were there for, because like I said, everybody else they're good. Why am I excluding anyone? Don't exclude anyone. Go find out what they're there for. And they were really nice. I'm going to show this up here too. They were really nice to me. Answered questions that I had not really understanding. And a lot of you are like, it's a CB radio. How old is that? Well, what if your phone doesn't work anymore? What if some crazy stuff goes off and no longer are cell phones or whatever even useful? And if you think that that's not possible, there's plenty of places in the world that cell phones aren't useful. So there's other technology, and it might be older technology, but it's good to have in your toolbox. So it was interesting. They were really interesting to talk to, and it made me question a lot of, like I said, a lot of things. And that's what I'm hoping to do for you, that it gives you that little spark inside of you that says, okay, she's right. I should at least go to one. What's the worst? That you walk around and you're like, okay, I didn't have the courage to walk up to someone, because I really doubt that you're going to say, I went to one, Stacy, and it was stupid. I'm going to doubt that, or that it was boring. I don't think it matters if there's a lot of people at one or not. Sometimes it's almost worse when there's too many people. So if you arrive at some of these events and a lot of the tables are open, still walk up. Just walk up to the different tables and find out what they're talking to you about, because more often than not, like me, once they get a hold of you, there's some really cool stuff that they're either working on or doing, and having that opportunity to talk to you one-on-one is fantastic and for free, and that's what they're there for. If you are involved in something that you think that, maybe I should be one of the exhibitors, Stacy, it sounds like I should look into it. We all need to shift a little bit, and in education especially at this point. Now that was something I was not sure if I was going to broach on the topics of, but I think I'm going to go there because I've seen enough videos on YouTube where they get the TikTok compilations, and it concerns me a little bit, and it's in the whole unschooling category. Now I do know a lot of homeschoolers, and it is not an easy road, and we support education, period. And if you come to me and you want education support or answers, or even your own little private time where we can do some education, absolutely. But no, I don't do, I'm not going to do a summer program where I'm going to take your kids and all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. The concept of unschooling, from what I understood, were people that were like, well, I'm just going to let my child, I'm going to see what my child is interested in. I think that's a concept for sure. But if you're not taking them to events like where I've been, and I haven't seen any of it, I've seen no one come up to me and tell me that they're unschooling anyone. That is your array of all the different options for your child to go, I'm interested in that, I'm not interested in this. If you're not going out and seeking some of the STEM events, the STEAM events, STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. MESA is math, engineering, science, achievement. They're out there. So plenty of people offering different options and different ideas. If your idea of schooling or education is finding what you're interested in. But what I would also guarantee everybody that was there would tell you, discipline is also something that's included in any of the sciences. There has to be a discipline. It can't be just the things that I'm interested in. And I'm gonna now flip that to the adults that I'm talking to. Is that how we all are at this point? If I'm not interested in it, I just scroll past it. If it's not constant candy, am I not disciplined enough anymore to sit through a 30-minute video where someone's just talking, where things aren't being flashed at me the whole time? Am I disciplined enough to walk up to a total stranger and be completely wonderful and nice to them and receive the information that they brought from me and exchange ideas and walk away and feel fulfilled? I think that there are alternative ways at this point to be part of the community, to give back, to explore, do it for free. That'll help your everything, helps your mental, helps your educational growth, helps your spirit, helps all of it. It is out there, and it's what I just finished doing a whole season of. So I'm a little tired, and I kind of fall short as a friend and as someone that I can socialize with, because I give out so much at these events. When you're seeing lots and lots of people, get to talk to them, get to share the emotions that come with setting up everything and coming up with these ideas and concepts, and the fear that either something's going to go wrong or you're met with some really horrible disapproval. But I'm past that. Like I think that's I found that at the event that we did in Fountain Hills. We had a lady walk up to the table and she looked at the bats and she said, "Oh, gross." I wasn't offended, but within a few very short minutes, I changed and turned her around for sure. But being out with the general population is necessary. You can't hide yourself away. It's not good for your mental health. I want you to get out there, and I don't want you to say it's because, well, Stacey, I can't afford it, or a lot of these are free. Go. No one's telling you to go buy anything. No one's telling you to even eat off the food trucks. So it's going to be really hard not to. These food trucks, oh man, been getting some yummy stuff. I still want to keep shouting out that one lumpia truck that we in Fountain Hills. Oh, yum. Random. Where am I gonna find that? Nowhere where I'm at. Food trucks are the way to go. So look in your area. We said, I know I'm on YouTube. I know this video is going long. But I want you to really start thinking about the things that are around you, the areas that you could go to, whether like I said, it's a nature center, whether there's some lakes, outdoors, some science things that are happening locally in your area, or things that you can get involved in and shift yourself. And maybe, just maybe, we'll run into each other at one of these events. That would be pretty awesome. So, hope y'all are doing good. Have a good. You're like, that didn't sound. Because it's hard to say. I hope y'all are doing great in a time when things are a little shaky. It seems like the world's a little shaky, but know that you can at any time put it in the comments. Say, hey, Stace, no, I still have questions, or still just don't feel right, or hey, I just need someone to say hi to, and I'll definitely say hi back. So, with that, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.